This tutorial will cover how to create a histogram chart, X-bar and range charts, how to export SPC values using a statistics measurement, and a basic SPC summary report. You may also want to view the tutorial on custom reports, allowing the user to link and export any SPC data to selected cells within their company-formatted template. An SPC plan will need to be configured and running to make use of these options. Advanced SPC is required for an X-bar range chart and for extended custom report SPC export options. A histogram chart is available if you have purchased Advanced SPC or just the histogram option. Add a new histogram by clicking the Window menu on the main application window and choosing New Window. Select the radio button next to Histogram and press Next. Enter an appropriate title for your chart in the blank above. This chart will be referred to elsewhere in the program using this name. Only one measurement can be displayed per histogram chart. Place a check in the box next to the desired measurement, and click the next tab at the top entitled X-axis. Enter the number of intervals, or bins, to fill with your data. There are several methods to set up the X-axis range and centering. The top two selections will take the range and centering from the active recipe. The first centers to nominal and uses the spec limits to set the X-axis range. The second also takes the nominal for centering, but uses the reasonable limits to set the X-axis range. The next three selections provide only centering and will need an additional selection below for the scale. The first of these three also centers on the specification nominal. The second centers on the statistical average, using the number of samples entered here. The third centers from a user entry here. After the centering selection for these three options, choose a range selection here. The first choice will automatically calculate an appropriate range based on the number of samples entered here. The other choice bases the range on the interval or bin size entered here. The final selection will take the centering and range from a user-specified left and right limit for the X-axis here. Make your selection and choose the next tab at the top entitled Miscellaneous. Choose the options you wish to be displayed on the chart. Options include specification limits, window title in large font, a normal distribution or bell curve, the mean or average, plus or minus 3 times the standard deviation to represent 6 sigma, and an interval measurement count. Selecting Print Filled Bars before printing will make the printed image match the on-screen image. To print only the outline and to save ink, leave the checkbox unchecked. On software startup, decide if you want the chart accepting values, ignoring values, or just to resume what it was doing when shut down. Make your selections and press the next tab at the top entitled Attributes. The system accepted value for any attribute can be displayed at the top of the chart. Add desired attributes and click the next tab at the top entitled Refresh. Change the global chart update rate by typing a new value in the box. Then press OK. Size and position your new chart. To make any changes to the chart, right-click to bring up the configuration. Make any changes, and press OK to save. After setting up an advanced SPC plan, you may create an X-bar and/or range chart click the Window menu on the main application window and select New Window. Select the radio button to the left of X-bar range chart and press Next. In the blank above, enter an appropriate name for the chart. This chart will be referenced by this name elsewhere in the program. The chart type selection here will be permanent upon form submission. After submitting, if you want to change chart types, you'll need to create a new chart. If you want X-bar and range information plotted together, choose X-bar/range composite. If you want X-bar information plotted on a separate graph above the range, select X-bar/range split. The next two choices create a chart with only the X-bar or range information respectively. Make your selection and press the next tab at the top entitled Measurement. Measurement statistics maintained by an advanced SPC plan will be listed below. If your desired measurement is not listed, go back and add it to an advanced SPC plan before continuing. Then click the next tab at the top entitled Axes. The X-axis will be divided by subgroups. Choose how many subgroups will be displayed at one time here. Then enter how many total subgroups will be contained in the chart, viewable by scrolling. The total number may need to be reduced for memory considerations, and in no case may the chart contain more than 1,000 subgroups. You may also choose to display every subgroup collected at the same time by checking the box to the left of Unlimited X-axis values. The Y-axis may be scaled with respect to the reported measurement values, any associated specification limits, SPC plan control limits, or by dictating a manual scale. If you scale off the measurement values, the spec limits, or control limits, you can also choose to include padding above and below to make the scale a little bit more zoomed out. This is done by increasing the padding percentage. Next, choose a thickness for your data by choosing the radio button to the left of your desired thickness. This will apply to plotted points and connecting lines. If you do not want grid lines for either axis, deselect them here by removing the check in the box to the left of Show X-axis grid lines or Show Y-axis grid lines. When complete, click the next tab at the top entitled Miscellaneous. Choose the options you wish to be displayed on the chart. The first two options are the X-bar control limits and the range control limits. Even if you don't display the limits, the plotted X-bar and the range will appear in red if the limits are exceeded. If you choose to use connecting lines, they will also be colored in the same manner. Other options include keeping bars filled with ink when printed, using connecting lines between plotted points, the chart title in large font, recipe specification nominal in green, warning or deadband limits in yellow, upper and lower spec limits in red, and reasonable limits in gray. On software startup, decide if you want the chart accepting values, ignoring values, or just to resume what it was doing when shut down. Make your selections and press the next tab at the top entitled Attributes. The system accepted value for any attribute can be displayed at the top of the chart. Add desired attributes, and then click OK. Size and position your new chart. To make any changes to the chart, right-click to bring up the configuration. Make your desired changes, and press OK to save. If you want any of your SPC plan's real-time statistical information available for use elsewhere in the program, do so by exporting it to a statistics measurement. It can then be used just like any other standard measurement. This can be useful for data logging, displaying on a trend chart, specifications applied for alarming, or even part of another SPC plan. Open full configuration by pressing TotalVu on the main application window and select full configuration. Enter measurements and execute Add Statistics Measurement. Out of the available SPC plans, select your desired measurements by placing a check in the box to their left. If you do not see your desired measurement, first add it to an SPC plan before continuing. Then click Next. The list below displays all the SPC options that are available to be reported to a statistics measurement. Select the desired statistics by clicking on them and pressing Add. When complete, click Next. If you want the statistics measurement to always match the value displayed in the SPC window, select Continuous. If you want to sample and hold the value on Action Execution, select Discrete. Then, when you are ready to sample the statistic, execute the action type, Measurement, Sample Discrete. When complete, click Finish. Each of these statistics measurements can now be added to a measurement display, graphed, or logged just like any other standard measurement. They can also be renamed by right-clicking each and pressing Rename. Two reporting options are available to store SPC data following collection. The first is the basic SPC Summary Report. It is available to all SPC plans and allows the user to both save to a CSV file and/or print using a standard format. The second is the Custom Report option, allowing the user to link and export any SPC data to selected cells within their company formatted template. It is available to users with Advanced SPC or those with the Custom Reports package. For more information on custom report configuration, see the associated tutorial. To set up an SPC summary report, open full configuration by pressing TotalVu on the main application window and select full configuration. Enter Actions and execute Add Action. In the drop-down menu below New Action, select the action type SPC Generate Summary Report. If you only have one SPC plan or want to place all plans in one CSV file, check the box to the left of Acts on All SPC Plans. Otherwise, leave the checkbox blank. Under Action Name, enter an appropriate name that you will use when you are ready to execute this action and generate the report. Then click the next tab at the top entitled SPC Summary Report. If you want the report saved to a CSV file, check the box to the left of Save to Disk, and then choose a delineation below. Choose this delineation based on the program you plan to use to open the CSV file later. To include each value's name as a header on the line above, place a check in the box to the left of Save Header. If you want the report sent to the system default printer, place a check in the box to the left of Print. The font may be changed by clicking the button Change Font, making desired selections, and pressing OK. To include each value's name as a header on the line above, place a check in the box to the left of Print Header. Then click the next tab at the top entitled More Report Options. If you want your SPC plan reset when the report is generated, place a check in the box to the left of Reset Statistics after generating report. Also following report generation, decide if you want the selected SPC plans running, stopped, or unchanged by selecting the radio button to the left of the desired state. When complete, click the Next tab at the top. If you are saving the report to disk, the next tab will be Auto File Name. Create a file name using the variables in the drop-down menu above. Select each desired variable and click Insert Variable. If you do not want your report saved in the standard data logging folder under the TotalVu folder, include a complete path with your file name. Keep in mind the path may also include variables. Ensure that there are no spaces at the beginning of any folder or file name. If you want to change the file name extension, enter or select a new one here. An entry not consistent with a basic text format may prevent the file from opening. When complete, click the Next tab at the top entitled Report Header Data. If you select any measurement or attributes, their current value will be attached to the report under the SPC data. When complete, click the Next tab at the top entitled SPC Plans. On the first tab, if you selected Act on All SPC Plans, this tab and the next tab will not appear. Out of the available SPC plans, select each measurement to include in the report. If your desired measurement does not appear, go back and edit an SPC plan to include this measurement. When complete, click the Next tab at the top entitled Report Order. Order your selected measurements to set the order of display on the report. Do this by selecting a measurement and clicking Move Up or Move Down as needed. When complete, click OK. With the action definition complete, it may be executed on demand when ready for report generation. For this example, I assign this action to a button. To learn how, watch the tutorial on actions and buttons. With statistics collected for your selected measurements, execute your report action. If you selected SPC Reset on report, the sample count will reset to 0. You can now browse for and open the report. Ensure that the program you use is set to the same delineation as the report. Next, watch the tutorial on custom reports, enabling users to selectively link cells within a template to any export option. Thank you for watching. This has been Tutorials by Joel.